And across the country at the University of California, Davis, a college girl was attacked outside a Turning Point USA event. Watch.
This is what happens, see, TPUSA events. We can't even come out here and support freedom of speech.
Destroyed my phone.
This young girl was maced outside of a UC Davis event. Here at the MAGA Hulk event, Stephen Davis.
Destroyed my property.
They broke her property just simply for being a conservative.
And they don't even know I'm a conservative.
They maced everybody here. They maced everybody here.
Wow, they maced everyone, whether they knew they were conservative or not. If you show up to a free speech event now, right, the left takes exception to that. Well, that event eventually had to be canceled for the safety of everyone. MAGA Hulk Stephen Davis was set to speak to students there, and he joins us right now. Stephen, great to see you. You are a major hero in my family. My children love and honestly, you are a hero to them, and those are hard to come by these days, so I always appreciate you. And I'm so sorry, first of all, that this happened to you and to your colleagues and attendees there at that event. Stephen, what evil things did you plan to say at this event that made it such a big event to the left?
It's really interesting because all I wanted to do is express to people, especially people of color, that you don't have to be victims, especially when it comes to this boogeyman known as systemic racism. My whole event was planned around debunking systemic racism in this current time and talking about how it's a lie and how it's used as a weapon, as a cultural, as even a drug by the left to try to hook and ensnare the Black community into believing that they are victims. And I'm trying to give people hope. That's all I am trying to do, is try to uplift people out of this mentality, out of this mental slavery, out of victimhood. And of course, I cannot do that when it comes to the left. That is unacceptable. And as a result, they shut that event down.
Well, Biden did say that folks like you and me are threats to democracy. Remember his Red speech? Does Biden bear any responsibility for any of this? Has he called off any of the pre-election violence? Has he told people to focus their energy on going to the polls rather than killing conservatives?
Oh, not at all. Not at all. He's the typical person when it comes to ratcheting up rhetoric. Now, mind you, this is the same individual that said Antifa is just an idea, not an organization. And of course, we saw this quote unquote idea outside of our event, trying to shut it down, banging metal barricades against the windows and against the walls of our event to try to intimidate us, or trying to get in, or at the very least trying to intimidate us, right? Either which is unacceptable, especially when it comes to such a thing called free speech. Of course, it's okay for them, but not okay for us. Joe Biden needs to be able to denounce these sort of things, because this is absolutely despicable, and this is not the America that I've come to know and love.
You know, we hear about these events almost daily, it seems, these days. When's the last time we heard about white-on-black crime that was for the purpose of racism? I mean, when's the last time we heard of these stories that the left concocts, not that they never happened, but that they're not as frequent anymore as the bigoted attacks on folks like you, who, by the way, happen to be Black, and you're not being attacked from white people. You're not being attacked by racists. You're being attacked by the very people who represent themselves as your defenders. Explain this to me, because the math doesn't add up, does it?
It really does not. This is one thing I told Antifa. I said so much, because they kept hurling insults. They kept calling me a fascist. They kept hurling all these different things at me. I said, so much for uplifting Black voices, huh? And this is typical. This is typical of Antifa. This is the military wing of the Democrat Party. And just like the Democrats of the 30s, the 40s, the 50s, they send mobs to shut down Black people for having the audacity to try to free enslaved minds, right? But of course, when it comes to my voice, it's the wrong kind of Black voice, right? I'm a freedman. I'm a person off the Democrat plantation trying to free other minds from the mental slavery and victimhood. That's unacceptable. The only Black voice that's acceptable to a white liberal is an enslaved one.